On today's episode of Oh My Tech, we're going to go over what's going viral. There are a couple stories that have been filling up my social media feed, and I don't know if they've been filling up your feed as well, but let's go over them so you can get exactly what's going on. I'm going to give you the TLDR. If you're not familiar with that phrase, it means too long, didn't read. Going to give you the quick and dirty of both of these stories, so when you see them in your social media feed, you know exactly what is going on. So let's get right into both of these stories. The first story I want to talk about is about a woman named Kathleen Turner. No, not that Kathleen Turner. So Kathleen Turner is a woman in Florida. She was driving her car and she was pulled over for distracted driving. Now, they said that she was manipulating her phone in her right hand as she was driving. The catch is that she doesn't have a right hand. So I saw this video on TikTok. I saw her talking about how, hey, you can still get a ticket for manipulating your phone with your right hand when you don't have a right hand. And this video was actually posted back in February, but this week is when it really started gaining traction and going viral. And that's all because the body cam footage from the police officer was released by Kathleen Turner. Again, not that Kathleen Turner. So you can see in this body cam footage, the officer kind of doubling and tripling down on the fact that he saw her manipulating her phone, where it seems like it could be almost impossible for her to have been manipulating her phone. So that's how it got so viral, because this body cam footage was released by Kathleen Turner, not that Kathleen Turner, and everyone could see what was happening and people were outraged that this happened. So again, when you're outraged, that's when things are gonna go viral. So because of the body cam footage being released and everybody kind of being outraged about it, then it was either the officer or just the district attorney or somebody dropped the charges, or they dismissed the case due to lack of evidence. Anybody could have told you there was a lack of evidence in this case. So let's go ahead and look at her original TikTok video from February.
Turns out you can still get a ticket for driving with a device in your right hand, even if you don't have a right hand.
All right, man. So you're gonna receive a citation for wireless communication device handheld while driving. We got to put the phone down as we operate a motor vehicle.
Oh, and you put on there that you saw me with my right hand holding it, yeah?
I did not put that. No, if you want to take it to
But
court,
that's what you said when you pulled me over, yes?
That's what I
That
said,
you saw me holding my device with my right
I'm not
hand.
disagreeing with you. Yes, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yes. If you want to take it to court,
And that's what you saw?
that's what I said.
That's what you said you saw?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. If you want to take it to court, option 5 on the back of the ticket, that's how you take that ticket to court. Do you have any questions for me?
No, thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, now that you've seen the original video, let's take a look at the body cam footage. Again, this is only a couple minutes long as well.
So we have court tomorrow for driving with a device in our right hand, but they just sent me the body cam footage, so I thought you guys might like a little treat before tomorrow.
It doesn't bother you, huh? Yeah, a lot of times you can.
Maybe it's different because I'm mature.
Hello, ma'am. Hey, good morning. I'm Deputy Gasala with the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. Recently being pulled over in the city of Lake Worth today. We're doing an operation for distracted driving. You drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Not. So you want to just call this a day? Or?
I don't want to call it a day. You had a hand up manipulating
You just
the
said
phone.
my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You
so
had a
you
hand
didn't.
up. The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right? But I saw you.
You didn't see me with my right hand.
Okay, so are you saying
that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you don't have your phone in your hand.
Hand to God.
Cool. You have your driver's license, registration,
Yes,
and
I
insurance
do.
with you.
So a few of the things that people are outraged about is, first, the hand to God part of the body cam footage, where he asks her, hand to God, you didn't manipulate your phone. And she raises the arm that doesn't have the hand and says, hand to God, I didn't do that. And then he said, other hand to God. And that is just really, I mean, ableist, I don't know what the word is exactly, but to not accept her like swearing because she doesn't doesn't have a hand just blows people away. Okay, that one wasn't valid because you don't have a hand. Like, and then makes her do it with the arm that does have a hand. So that's one thing that people are just outraged about. The other thing that they're outraged about is it's impossible that she was manipulating her phone. If you look at the video, her arm ends like right around here. And let's say, devil's advocate, she had her phone in her left hand and she was trying to steer with the arm that doesn't have a hand. I don't even think that arm could have reached to the steering wheel to hold onto the steering wheel while you had the phone in your left hand. So, like, aside from the fact that it seems like it would be an impossibility that she was actually driving with a phone in her hand. So, all the virality, pressure mounts to drop the case. They dismissed the case for lack of evidence just on Friday, and now everybody is still talking about the case and how it got dismissed. So, that is what went viral. What is your opinion? Do you think it was possible she was manipulating her phone, or do you think the cop was absolutely in the wrong? Let me know what you think about it in the comments. The next story I've seen all over my social media feeds is Netflix documentary called The Crash. Now, The Crash is about a 17-year-old girl who crashed her car into a brick wall, killing her then boyfriend and their friend. Now, the way she crashed into the brick wall is she was going 100 miles an hour and the accelerator was depressed almost 100%. She turns the car so that the passenger side faced the most of the impact. So she was charged and convicted for murder for both the boyfriend at the time and the other passenger. Now, she did get injured in this accident as well and ended up in the hospital, was unconscious for a little while. So it stands to reason that maybe she was also trying to end her own life. However, if you were doing that, I would imagine you would go headfirst into the brick wall instead of turning the car so that the passenger side faced the significant part of that impact. There's also video of a few minutes before that happening where she's taking a corner very methodically and clearly in control of her facilities just a couple minutes before she's careening into this brick wall. So she did opt for a bench trial instead of a jury trial. Now, when you're indicted or charged with a crime, you can choose to have a bench trial where only a judge hears all the evidence and makes a decision, or you can have a jury decide what is best. There's a few reasons why you would pick one over the other. Let's say you think you don't want to figure out if the jury is going to really follow the letter of the law, because a lot of times beyond a reasonable doubt is sometimes hard for everyday people who are not in the legal system every day to understand. And a judge absolutely understands the actual burden that is on the prosecution, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. So she chose for a bench trial, and the judge did find her guilty of murder for both the boyfriend and the passenger. Now, in opposite of Kathleen Turner, who was clearly innocent, it kind of also goes along the lines of Karen Read. Karen Read is a woman in Boston who was tried for the murder of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, and it was clear from his injuries and the damage to the car that didn't happen. She could not have hit him with her car. So there's a big movement to free Karen Read. And again, there is not a big movement because Kathleen Turner, not that Kathleen Turner, charges got dismissed. But with Karen Read, she was found innocent. And so there's this big movement of people who are very convinced of her innocence and would fight for her to not go to jail or anything because they're convinced of her innocence. I feel like Mackenzie Shirilla, who is the 17-year-old from the documentary The Crash, did this documentary to kind of garner that same level of support. And, people, while she's trying to appeal her bench trial's decision, then she wants all of these people to get behind her and say how innocent she is. She claims that it might have been a medical emergency that caused her to crash the car. But if it was a medical emergency, like let's say you passed out or blacked out, then you would go completely limp. Your foot wouldn't be completely pressed on the gas pedal. The other part where she's being interviewed on Netflix, she has an entitled attitude. Now, Netflix included a part in the documentary where she was like upset and like talking about something. And then they're like, okay, is there anything else? And she's like, okay, is that it? Are we good here? So it's just like an actor, you know, when they like are super emotional and then it says cut and then they're like, okay, like let's go to lunch or something like that. So they included that whole scene where she's like, oh, I'm so upset. And then, okay, cool. Are we good now? So it was clear that Netflix wanted everyone to see how she was maybe just putting on an act. And so nobody's really like getting behind her. But I think the reason she wanted to do this was so that people would get behind her. The problem is she's clearly guilty. She was found guilty, whereas Kathleen Turner, not that Kathleen Turner, and Karen Read are innocent. And so people want to get behind them and talk about the injustice that's being done to these people, where with Mackenzie Shirilla, justice is being served. So it's kind of a dichotomy here of she wants people to think of her like these other two innocent people. But the problem is for her that she is guilty. The other reason a lot of people are talking about this documentary is the tone deafness of her parents and kind of the attitude that these parents are terrible parents. The biggest thing that people are talking about is her dad choosing to wear a t-shirt. So let's say this is a documentary about a crash that took the lives of two young people. The dad is wearing a superhero type t-shirt that says boom with, you know, like an explosion. You're like, are you kidding me? You are talking about two people who have lost their lives in a crash and you are wearing a t-shirt that says boom. Like, how tone deaf can you be? So that is something a lot of people are up in arms about with the documentary as well. And then the mom, there is video of what the mom said in the sentencing. So at sentencing, the victim impact statements, usually from the victim's family and friends, of how they have been impacted by the loss or the tragic killing of their loved one. But then also the perpetrators, people can come up and talk and give mitigating circumstances as well to help maybe reduce the sentence. So the victim impact statements are trying to get like the maximum sentence, and then the mitigating factors are trying to reduce that sentence. And so the mom gets up and is basically rambling about who knows what. And then the judge even cuts her off at some point. It's like, listen, you haven't said anything about the crime, about this. What are you even talking about? Basically, that's not what she said, but that's the spirit of what she said, to channel some gossip, rumor, and innuendo there. So there's like, what are you talking about? So the tone deafness of both of her parents is something else that people are really up in arms about. So you can go viral for justice being served and your entitled behavior, or you can go viral for injustices happening. But that is the two cases that have been super viral this week of June 1st. That's the TLDR. Every once in a while on Oh My Tech, if there are some things going really viral, I will let you know about it, because as always, I'm here to give you the TLDR on tech, the internet, and just our digital world, so you can be in the know but get back to living your life exactly the way you want. So until next time, Family Tech powering down.